Broadcast live.
Yo, what up? We at Mufasa's place, 9th of April. The boxing fight is happening. We just had an incredible exclusive sit down where we talk about everything under the sun, the business, the boxing, hell, everything else, yo. He's having an ice bath right now. That's why he's not joining me. Let me help you check that out. Check it out. This is how he's getting ready. This is how he's getting ready. Uh-oh. Yeah. Y'all see that? He's preparing for an ice bath. You can see he's got Capo, he's got the team getting him ready for the ice bath. This is how he's getting prepared for the fight on Saturday. It's about to go down. What up, Innocent? We out here with Cass, you know?
Yeah.
How you doing, man? We haven't caught up in a minute, you know?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
The people have been asking. They've been asking from the beginning of January. They are saying we need a motivational interview. We need Cass to give us the fire, you know?
You caught me at such a humble moment, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm usually like, yeah, I'm in like a different vibe, you know? Yeah, I don't know if it'll be motivational, but I think it'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna just start from like just to pick up, right? I got the Play Cup, so I assume that the Play deal is still happening.
Yeah, definitely waiting.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
still. I mean, yeah, it's even matching. Shut up. Yeah, I'm still with Play, man.
Yeah.
What flavor is it? They wanna feed me sugar. Accent.
We're trying to accent. I could sugar that up. He has got to wants to please the brand. He's gonna drink.
I'm still messing with Play. I love it when brands commit and when the relationship can carry on for long, because I feel like it's such a unfair play of things when brands take you and put you all over, and then a year later there's someone cool and relevant, and then they remove you and they move with that cool person, because I can't start working with any other energy brand for maybe 5 years, you know, after I work with Play. So it's always dope when they renew contracts, you know, bump up the cheese. And so shout out to Play. They've been treating me nice.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are out there buying Play. You know, if you want to drink an energy drink and you want to support me, you buy this one.
And that's dope, because remember, even when you were telling me the difficulty of the deal to even happen initially, that means you met the results and the targets if it's been renewed, you know?
Yeah.
And later on, you know, I mean, as we were looking, and I spoke to you, I think I spoke to you quickly about this, and I was like, yo, bro, you literally like could have just hired a car in Cape Town, you know?
Yeah.
And you went to Cape Town with 2 cars, you know?
Oh, man.
Tell me, you know, when is it between like, yo, this is the impression I gotta put out there, or this is work, and this is lifestyle? Like, like where does it go? Especially now that you're an owner of like I'd say, like, you know, you sell beverages now, right? So when is it between this is who I am and this is lifestyle?
You know, that's the beauty of it. It's like the reference of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, with the reference of like owning or corporations. So it's like, for me, it's dope because I can do stuff and say it's for the corporation.
Yeah.
You know, it's for the company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's lifestyle. I'm selling alcohol. It's a luxury brand, but at the same time, I'm the one who's experiencing it. You know, so it's dope. Like, my work allows me to have fun in as much as it's marketing, but I'm also having fun, like, personally. So I think the line is blurry. You know, I wouldn't be, at this point, I wouldn't tell you, you know, what's work and what's not. I'm turning up and I'm having fun, but it helps my business.
Getting fun, getting punched, you know.
I haven't got punched yet. I haven't got punched yet. I mean, during the training, there's protective gear. I mean, I've got blue eyes. I got hurt, my shoulder, even my thumb is sore. I got, I punched someone's elbow sparring the other day. It's like these dirty tricks that boxers do when they're in trouble. So he just knows how to hurt you, you know. But I haven't, I haven't taken a punch on my face without protective gear yet. I still have to experience that. I don't know if I'll experience it at Sun City, but we'll see.
Earlier on, before we started, we were talking about, and that's why the question about when is it lifestyle, when is it you? We were talking about like the new generation, and I was talking about how hard it was for me to kind of give you guys advice or to give you guys guidance, and I just say, let them take what they take, and you don't want to be imposing. And it seems like you've come in a world where there's a new generation, and you also like, whenever you try to give people advice, as if like you fell off or whatever the case may be, you know. And you go, but in retrospect, when Jabba used to tell you that, you used to go, Jabba.
Can I put Billiato here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
Let
me call these kids.
Yeah.
Before I answer your question, I need to, I'm always marketing in my mind. So I'm thinking, I'm going to sit here for how long? And this play here, I don't own this. So I'm like, it's dope, they give me money, it's family, but like, I need to put something I own.
Yeah, no, we got play and Billiato, we'll put it together,
So I remember Jabba used to, there's a lot of moments where he shouted at me and I felt like he was being unfair, and I felt like he didn't understand me and my generation, And I've spoken about these humbling moments of him taking off my shades on stage and all of that stuff. But then comes like the financial decisions. He used to tell me, how it's not important to wear Gucci and stuff, and how it's a waste of money. And he always had a WHP t-shirt on, And then me growing up in the game, I don't consider myself as an old man. I'm 31, right? But in the game, I'm like an OG now. It's wild. Like, I met Tos, the Rumlando guy. And he's like, yo, man, you're my role model. I'm like, what the hell's going on, bro? I'm supposed to be your buddy, in my mind, And he's like, yo, man, you, Riky, changed my life. And I'm like, damn, like, is this who I am now in the game, right? So now when I try and advise what I think are my peers, because we're all in a game together, it's received as like an OG who's not as cool as he used to be, or who's not as relevant and is hating on the kids. So it's different now, So I try and not share my opinion all the time and just let homies be, because I know how it feels. I know how I used to feel when Jabba did that to me. But in retrospect, I should have listened, earlier, because I would have saved myself a lot of trouble if I took some lessons earlier. Because especially with the money too, I don't regret anything. I feel like I developed into the person that I am because of certain mistakes and decisions. But I feel like a lot of people don't know how many times I fell off for real. Not like what they think or what they see, or when they think I'm cool and when I'm not, or like hate from Twitter. I'm talking about like, I'm not making the money I used to make, but I'm living the life I used to live still. And it catches up. I owe that guy 20K, I owe whoever 50K, I owe this guy 500,000. It's lit, and I just had a great support structure, and I was able to build myself to a point where now, for the first time in my career, I literally have pockets of money growing in places I forget, but it never used to be like this.
But tell me, when was the one time where like you were like, let's get the bottles in. This is like on social media when they say that like
when they say
that like But the marketing needs to be authentic, you know. This is an example
Exactly.
of us not doing authentic marketing. We are literally just saying, yo, we are marketing this here. We are telling you, we are not asking you, we don't want you to say
but let me tell you,
we are telling you.
But let me tell you, that's what's happening in the world right now. Like, trust me, I've seen...
This is not a paid post. There's no paid post. It's happening now. It's happening now.
Yeah. This is not a paid post.
This is not a paid post.
Yo, like literally right now, the marketing is guerrilla.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, you're being sold things.
It's the cookies.
It's like, they even our mics on our phones are connected to the algorithms, and you think, oh my God, I was looking for this thing, but no, like they basically listening and we're being sold stuff that we think we want. So ever since I got
soon
there,
they're gonna
I'm
get
like,
into our minds, because you know they got that thing that you
the
could
chip.
put the chip. Now when you're thinking of buying something, it's literally gonna appear on something in the physical world.
Maybe the vaccines got the chip, man.
It's possible. It's possible.
But that's it. Hey man, that's why when you own something, you have to sell it every day, bro.
Yeah.
Every day. Sometimes my Instagram be looking ugly because I'm just reposting Billiato.
Yeah.
And then my viewers just go lower and lower. Then I think, do I want to be cool or do I want to sell?
Yeah.
I want to sell.
Yeah.
You know, I might not be the coolest. There's people who have crazy numbers. They're getting 200,000 likes on Instagram because they posted in Dolce & Gabbana, right? And I'll get 10,000 likes, but I posted in my shoe, right? And it feels like, ah, man, I wish I could have gotten more likes, but I'm selling to 10,000 people. You're just selling yourself and not getting your money.
It's you know, they've got a word for it. You know, when they say that they gave black people a mirror.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, they gave black people a mirror and they took the land, or they gave black people the Bible.
Yeah, I know.
So
the bartering system.
They've been giving us a lot of things, and we've been giving them more for a long time, you know.
Right.
So when you do think about like even like giving black people a mirror, and then black people giving the people, the colonizers, the land, because they got a mirror, they can see themselves. It's called the vanity metric. So essentially, when I got 1 million followers, it's like, this is how I see myself. Do you understand? So if there's 1 million followers, if 50,000 black people, literally like, or 20 million black people are on social media, and they get some get 100, some get 20, but those that's the mirror, that's the constant mirror that you keep on seeing. And immediately when your numbers are less, that means that like your mirror is probably not as pretty. But I always go, you can literally like always be excited by the vanity metrics, or you could literally be excited by vanity metrics are great, but this is what I've converted into money. So if I'm making 300,000, just as an example, a month, over my, but I'm not, and over my 1 million followers, you must choose, do you want 300,000 or the 1 million? So because people have only tasted the mirror, and they haven't tasted the 300, or they haven't risked to the 300,000. They love the mirror.
Exactly.
So the world, and I won't even say to South Africa, the world is made out of people who will give you, who will empower you as long as you tell them they're pretty 1 million times.
Exactly.
That's why it's called a like.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's why it's called a like, and you know, so it's
I'm learning about that. You know, I never used to care in the beginning. I was selling, and then, you know, I play into my ego of this person that they say I am. You know, on my previous album, I say, I've convinced the whole damn world to believe in me, bruh, when I don't even believe in myself. I actually don't. Like, if you see me out there, like, fighting for myself, it's actually cause, it's not cause I think too much of myself. It's really cause of how much I feel I deserve because of what I've been through. You know, it's like entitlement, you know, and only of late I'm starting to learn the dangers of the entitlement, the fact that I believe that I should be treated a certain way because of what I've done, you know, and I'm letting go of that, you know, slowly, and getting into just falling in love with the work again more than the praises and people you know, liking me or disliking me. It's like whatever now. You know, I want to be in control again of myself, starting to learn about myself. So I don't care if I get 10,000 likes, but like you're saying, like those are like those 10,000 people that now I have that I can sell my products to, you know, and just play at that more than the 300,000 people that like me because I'm wearing Gucci or Dolce & Gabbana, but they don't actually do, that doesn't do anything for my bank account, for my future. It actually just fucks with my mind because I'm sitting here feeling so amazing because my likes are high. You know, some people have 6 million followers, but they've never seen 6 million rand. You know what I mean? If you've never made a buck for every follower you have, like for me, it's like, are you really killing it? You know? So, and then some people, man, who are sitting with 20,000 followers.
Mark Zuckerberg is killing it though.
Oh, yeah, but that's his business. That's what I'm
Because he
saying.
gave you the mirror.
He's minding his business.
Mirror. Yeah, he just gave you a mirror once and you loved it.
There's guys who's sitting on 100,000 followers, but they like Lekau. Like Lekau, he's on hundreds of thousands of followers but he sells hundreds of thousands of shoes. You know, I don't know if he's probably sold 1 million shoes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's made more money than that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like he's figured out how to use the tool, you know? And that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I do crazy numbers, you know? We sell shoes, we sell Billiato and whatever, but I'm still not, I haven't sold I've got 6 million followers or something on Instagram, 5.6, but I haven't sold 5 million bottles. You know what I mean? That's when I'll say, okay, fine, this thing, you know, I've figured out the balance, you know what I mean? So that's where I kind of am, you know?
One thing before we were cut, the question I wanted to ask you is that, when was it when you were like in a hole, financially, emotionally, and you were like, I don't think I'm ever going to come out of this? What was happening then?
I could tell you when I was in a hole, but I've never, ever in my life ever thought I'll never come out.
Okay, all right.
Like, I've always had faith. I've gone in deep, man. A lot of times, my real friends know and I'm one of the people who are blessed with the flow of trusting. You know, I know it sounds weird. It's a flow of trusting too much, but I'm blessed with it. So I never sit with bottled up emotions. I tell whoever I'm sitting with. You know what I mean? I could be sitting with a guy I met today and say, yeah, man, you know, I'm in 6 million rand debt right now. And I just talk. You know what I mean? And it's therapeutic, you know? So my friends know what I've been through. Like, I used to, you know, borrow money all the time. Specifically, the fill-ups were the toughest ones. Like, the first 3 were like really, really tough, because we were literally investing money into things that we know are not going to bring, you know, the money back immediately. You know, I never was the guy to spend hundreds of thousands in the club, so I never lost money like that. I always lost money to business and investing in stuff and reinvesting into something that didn't make money, because I believed that it would grow. And so every fill up, you know, it just got tougher and tougher, until my beta was like the toughest financial time of my career. Like, you know, waking up that morning, like I said, to be told that the city or the government was pulling out and they couldn't support us how they had promised. There was like 7 million rand that was taken, and we still had to pay that 7 million to everybody, the stage, the guys who built the stage, gear house, everyone wanted their money. So we spent, you know, a lot of time paying that. And then SARS hit me right after that, you know, and SARS was horrible, because I used to pay 700,000 a month to SARS for almost 2 years. So that the agreement I had with SARS was the 700. If I had 1 month where I didn't make payment, they were going to reverse the agreement, still keep whatever I've paid and go back to the initial amount, you know. So literally every month I'm making 700 or more, but I'm left with like 50,000 rand every month for almost 2 years, dog. And
what year is this?
This is right after Mabida.
What year was the Mabida again? 2019?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's that, and we're going into Rustenburg. So I'm trying to plan Rustenburg, and I'm paying SARS. Mabida flopped. Those 2 years, and I'm just going off. And then Rustenburg happens, and I just paid off SARS. I still have the bill for the accountants that helped me. They helped me throughout the thing and said, you know, you'll pay us when you're done with this. We can see you have an issue.
Yeah.
And I still have to pay them. But we do Rustenburg, and then, okay, I just have this accountant bill, and then COVID. Bah! 0. Just when I'm about to, you know, put my head above the woods, and COVID hit, and it's 0. And I have no income that would be able to carry me throughout this situation. I have cars that I had to pay, I've got employees, and it was just a very, very, very tough time. And you know, I just kept the faith, man. That's when I met Lekau. Well, that's when I made the meeting with Lekau happen, because I was panicking, and I was like, what do I do in this situation? And that's when I realized that I needed to start businesses that did not need me to be there physically, you know. And Billiato and Ruto Fame were born in that panic. And I was able to get through, you know, a few friends borrowing me money there and there, but, you know, all my employees were paid in full throughout COVID. Nobody felt it, only me, you know. Gomies was sitting at home getting full payment. I made sure that everybody was paid, and that was like the toughest period for me financially. Like, COVID was really, I sold cars, it was bad.
So if you owed like SARS, like, or you paid SARS like
12.9
16, if you over 2 years, how much?
Yeah.
700 for 2 years.
Yeah, almost.
So it's
yeah,
like
700.
8.4, 16. It's like 16.8 million.
Yeah.
Over 2 years.
Yeah. So it was the 2.9 million for personal,
and business.
And then the business, and then
and interest.
Yeah, and then the penalties.
Yes.
So basically, once they fault your submission and they find something wrong in it, they can choose any penalty, right? And it can go up to 200%.
I know.
So it was horrible, man. But I found good accountants that really helped me come to a good, what do they call it, compromise. And the compromise was the 700, and over a period of time, and yeah.
I'll be real with you. I mean, this, you see, this goes back to us not being able to, I don't want to say these things because it becomes about money and it becomes sensitive, and it's like, why? I once sent you guys, you guys once invoiced me, and I saw that the way you invoiced me, I was like, I wonder, because this is a large sum of money. I think it was the fill up, the FNB fill up, you know. It was a large sum of money. It was a couple of 100,000. And in my head, I was like, when you invoice Slikour OnLife, I'm like, me, before I get myself into trouble, you know, you invoice like Slikour OnLife, and I asked myself, and I said, I wonder, because there's no VAT here, and I know that Cassper is making a lot of money, you know, but like this, and you know, I'm like, is it a conversation that, but already, you know.
Yeah, we operated without VAT for a long time.
Yeah, so, but I asked myself those questions, but you know, whenever you ask anybody about this, because I'm not an accountant and I'm not an expert, you know, I can say, yo, are you checking it out? And you'll go,
yeah, don't worry.
Exactly. But I wondered about that, and like, well, I never knew that like you had this thing, and SARS is not forgiving. I say SARS is like I compare SARS to the hospital, you know, and it's unfortunate that it's SARS that's literally like ran by our government. Our government should be like, where's the education for creatives? They haven't built a structure for creatives.
Not just creatives.
I mean, but like just a lot of people don't know. Business owners generally.
That's what I'm saying. Not just creatives.
Yeah, business owners generally.
But it's built like that.
It's almost like I feel like they've built it to catch us out.
Exactly.
Not to help us.
It's built like that. We go to school, we do economics, but they never say anything about tax.
Exactly.
Like, why isn't tax taught in primary?
Because
like, it must be something that you are aware of from when they start with numbers. Like, when they say 1 + 1, they must say in the scenario that if tax wants 1 rand, you know, somewhere, and then build it into the actual, you know, laws of tax in high school. So that you're aware of this thing. Because a lot of us go through school thinking we want to get jobs, right? If I could just get paid 45,000 rand a month, that'd be good. But that means you actually get 20,000 rand a month. We don't know that. We think that 45 is ours. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Nobody works with tax in mind until you get in trouble.
Employment is okay because at least maybe your company will literally like will manage it for you to a certain extent. You know, employment is okay, it's relative. But like you think about business, you know, the biggest thing the reason why I started my own thing is because we were being chased with tax in 2007, 2008, 2009. You know what I mean? And you don't want anybody to go through that. So when I say tax, and that's what I'm saying, it's unfortunate that it's our government that doesn't have enough funding solutions for creatives, that doesn't have enough funding solutions for entrepreneurs who are starting businesses that are not global businesses. But when we do make it a work, they become the biggest enemy also. That's my problem with tax. And I always have an argument, but where were you when I was struggling anyway?
But that's what I'm saying.
Where were you when I was struggling?
That's what I'm saying, is built like that. That's the whole point. The system is perfect.
But it does.
I'm saying we sing it as it's flawed. No, it's perfect for them. That's how it's supposed. It works for them. The fact that we don't know, is good for them.
Do you think that's fair though?
It's not.
Especially if you are saying that as South Africa we've built, and they talk about the youth, the unemployment in youth, and we building these businesses that actually help youth, but they want to catch us out all the time.
That's why I'm saying that you know they're not trying to
see, that's why I'm angry about this.
But you know, like we all know that the government or people who are in power, politicians, we all know they're not trying to help. It's a business.
Help or educate. Because sometimes some of them don't even know, by the way. Some of them don't even know.
Most of the times, the guy studied agriculture.
And he inherited a global business where all the tax things have been sorted out. He just has a name and he's just been in it. So they not, some of these guys who literally have all these businesses, they're not starting from scratch like us. What they started from scratch is fighting for a struggle. Thank you.
Yeah.
But they haven't struggled economically to build something from zero. So that's why they can't be empathetic.
But that's what I'm saying. It's perfect for them because firstly, they're not even thinking about that. They're thinking about money.
Yeah. And they think about Bafunguk live, Cassper.
That's even that one. Let's not even talk about that. Yeah. As soon as you take your head out a little bit, like, and you know, because they mess with these young girls. Like, yo, did you see Casper's car? What? Tomorrow they call SARS, and then they're on you. You know, unfortunately, we don't have leaders or people who are in power who actually care about their jobs and their legacies. The other day, me and Tilly were talking about, if these guys actually just cared about their legacies, not even us.
Yeah.
Like if they just cared about what people are going to say and remember about them, you know, they would do such a great job. Just to say, you know what I mean? Mandela. You know, everywhere you go, I'm an icon because I helped the people. No matter who says what, but Tina, when we think Mandela, that's what we think. The politicians now, it's like, what do we think of you? When we hear your names,
the country collapsed because of you.
Is that brutal? You know what I mean? That's what we think of. I can't think of any politician right now that when you say his name or or parliament member, when you say his name, I'm thinking, yo, this guy was really
fighting for us. Fighting.
That's why this new dude, Ntlantla Lux, like he connects to the people, and I mean, I think they all start like that anyway. But it's very easy to connect with South Africans because you already know what we wanna hear. So they can say these things that attract us easily, but when they are in power and they get there, it changes. Now it's like, how much money can I actually make of this thing? So that's what I'm saying. The system is perfect for them because it is working against us. And the more money that we make when we actually do become successful, it means the more money for them. And then we don't pay tax for a long time because we don't know, and then they'll catch us at the end. And it just keeps on happening over and over. They're not trying to educate us so that does not happen. They're not trying to empower us. When they do catch us out, they're not trying to help us out of that. They're trying to make sure that, they run you dry so they can make an example of you, So with me, I don't even think about that. Like, it's one of the things.
It makes you angry, though. It makes you angry.
A lot.
And to be quite frank, so this is another thing that I've learned. Maybe now we can have this conversation. You know, I don't have a presence on social media. Well, I'm not as famous as I was, but one of the reasons that I don't have a presence on social media is because there's certain conversations and there's certain things that I know that and because I've done the work and I've done the research, that I know that maybe 80 or 90% people on the social media platforms, they don't know. Not because they're stupid, it's because they're not as interested and passionate about it as I am, So because I'm very interested and very invested, it's hard for me to find people who are very interested and very invested in certain things about building businesses, and certain things about the politics, and certain things about really what are the politicians saying, and really, do you know that half of the stuff they're saying, I'm running a business right now. I should be the Minister of Arts. You understand? I'll put it right there. I should be the Minister of Arts with my vision, with what I have. But I could sit with the Minister of Arts and go, this is the vision, but that's not going to happen. Do you understand? So essentially, I've also I'm not placing myself according to where South Africa is or where South Africa views certain things. I'm placing myself based on where I view myself. But I don't see myself speaking with a lot of people on social media platforms because they view themselves within the lies that have been built by the country. So immediately when I counter those lies, immediately when I try and inform, and even when I try insightful, it's like, that old guy. It's like it starts micro with the creative world, and it goes macro with the social world. So sometimes you must keep quiet and move silently and actually make a difference in the small spaces that you can.
Capital is need.
Yeah, it's like
do what you can. You can't save.
Because let me tell you, everyone that's speaking on social media, even the guys that have money, I can tell you everything they're doing is, you can't have all that time if you're making a difference in people's lives. You can't have time to always be posting and evolving back and forth with people if you're making a difference in people's lives. That's what I believe. If you literally have that time, and you're also doing that, then there's people who are doing things for you, and you're just also always on social media. But it takes a lot of time and mind and discipline and focus and clarity of the mind to know that you're going up against a political system, you're going up against an institutional system, you're going up against a Western system or European system, you're going up against a financial system, a banking system that doesn't believe you, you're going up against your community who literally have been told they're less, but you believe you're a little bit more, and they more, and you're hoping you can motivate, but they don't believe in you. This is the things you're going through every day if you are Cassper, if you are me, and you are making yourself who you are. Those already, without me mentioning names, those 5 things don't believe in us from a general perspective.
You know what I think of social media? I think it's a great tool to start conversation, but it's definitely not the place to change the world. It's definitely not the solution to any problem. You know what I mean? Even serious ones, awareness for 2 weeks. You know, like even the most serious of issues trend for 2 weeks. And then everybody goes back to business as usual, you know? Like, I could see like people coming together, you know, talking about depression and I'm like, oh, maybe this the moment. And then 3 days later, they're coming together to laugh at someone that they don't know, you know, what is he going through? They don't know. And that person will feel like the whole world is coming at him. But even he doesn't understand that it doesn't even matter whether they're coming at you, whether they love you, or you understand? So like social media for me has become that. It's like a conversation. I talk to my fans, like, yeah, what up, how you doing? Sometimes I lash out, whatever. And I don't take it as serious anymore. I used to think that I could lose it all over a tweet. Like I used to get paranoid. Like, oh shit, I said the wrong thing. Oh my God, they're gonna cancel me. Now I'm deleting Twitter, calling Tilly. I said, hey, Tilly, I said what? Now, the other day, very sad day, I tweet something about Riky coming behind me and then touching me, and I'm very uncomfortable with like people touching me. Firstly, people touching me in general, and then there's another man comes. So I'm like, hey, who's this? But it's Riky. So I was like, okay, oh, it's Riky. I chilled, and then someone tried to take that and then make it a homophobic comment. You know? So the guy says, yo, delete this homophobic. I mean, I get a little shocked, like, is it homophobic? Did I offend, you know, the community? Then I'm like, wait a minute, man. This is nothing sexual. This has nothing to do with anyone's sexuality. Firstly, it's consent. Like, how do you touch someone? Let's start there. You know, now I'm breaking it down. What about my personal space that someone's touching me? What about someone creeping behind me? I don't even see this person. What if he's here to stab me? Like, then I break it down to how I felt. So instead of apologizing, like how I would have usually just to dumb it down, to you know, switch off the fire. I was like, actually, fuck you. Fuck all of you, actually, who think that, you know? And it went the other way. Then people started actually supporting me, and, you know, the guy deleted the thing and never apologized. Social media, no repercussion. Someone can literally try and destroy you or your name or make you, you know, look in a certain way. And then when they are wrong, no one comes and says, actually, no, I was wrong here, you know? But you are in control. Like, I could have, you know, taken that and started beating myself down, but I was like, nah, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore who thinks what of you, you know? If you're going to use that platform, know that one day you're gonna be bashed, one day you're gonna be cancelled, one day you're going to be loved and praised, the next day, you know, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. This, people think it's justified. Some people think it's not. That's where we go. We conversate, but it doesn't matter. The person who's going to take the decision is the Oscars, it's Chris Rock, and it's Will Smith.
Yeah.
No matter what we say, do, it doesn't matter. We can share our opinions. So once you look at it like that, you know, it just becomes that. It's like, yeah, that's where people go and talk. So you would be wasting your time.
Yeah.
Coming to the point that I wanted to make. If you are so invested and passionate about the things you talk about, you'll be wasting your time. That's not the place to start. Like, let's come together, change the country. Dog, it's not gonna happen on social media, dog. It's gonna happen on the ground. It's gonna happen with the people. It's gonna happen in real life. It's not gonna happen on social media.
How do you feel also, I guess, from you've got when you reflect on things in the world, you've got a way of looking at what's happening in the world, and you've got a way of like putting yourself in it and going, I can relate to this. Like you mentioned the Will Smith thing, you know, and people don't like you literally like using people of the world to reflect with yourself. You know what I mean? How do you take that, you know, and is there even a justification
I believe in minding my own business.
Yeah.
If I can't relate, if I can't figure myself in this thing, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. Why am I talking about something that I can't relate to?
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I am always the main character in my life. Always. They call it main character syndrome. It's all right. To me, I'm minding my business.
Yeah.
I'll never wake up in J and talk about a poor in J who did whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fuck me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like, why am I talking about, why am I thinking? It's my Twitter, it's my life. I'm talking about my life. I'm talking about my thoughts, my success. It's always me. I see myself here. That's me every day. And that is why I'm so successful. Because I mind my business. It's always about me. You understand? And a lot of people spend time minding other people's business.
So you saying that, like, if I've written that post about Will Smith and I say I can relate, it's because I'm actually talking about me.
Exactly.
But the reason why you're not successful is that instead of you actually like not engaging me negatively or literally building from going, oh, Cassper, I'm also going through that too.
Exactly.
You are not successful because you're giving all the energy to Will Smith. You're giving all the energy to Cassper.
Exactly.
But you're not building with
You're
Cassper.
a fan.
Yeah. So you are the viral effect.
Exactly.
You're another number.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You are exactly what the platform called you, a follower.
Exactly. That's exactly me. And here's the other thing, right? Social media trends, whatever. The trend is Cassper is narcissistic. That's, you know, it's been there. It's built. That's how they want. That's what they want to see in me. They're always going to see that in me. Now, what do I do? Do I go and say, I must stop thinking about myself. I must stop seeing myself. I'm always natural and authentic to myself. That's how I am. And that's how I got here. It was not a mistake that I'm here. I didn't get here by mistake. I got here by being myself. And if people can be true to themselves, they will get further. You understand? So I don't mind anymore people talking about me and saying what and this and that. That's okay. That's what you see. It's fine. I'm going to do it again. And again. And again. I'm always going to see myself in situations and either learn from it, grow from it, or just, if I can't relate or learn or grow from it, then I don't have no business with it. You know what I mean? You didn't see me say anything about Russia and Putin. Because I'm like,
where do I come in? You're going to come in once you start putting petrol in your car.
That's what I'm saying. Then the petrol. Okay, let's talk. Hey, the petrol is too much. You understand? And we'll be talking about that. Like, one of my cars is like 2 point something to fill it up. Like, yo, this is crazy. Okay, this is where I fit in. But the war, for me, is like, yo, people are dying. I don't understand. Like, how does it get to the point where people have to die? There's people who know more than me. There's people who know the politics more than me. I'm not commenting on that because I know I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't relate. I can't relate to taking a decision and say, go kill. I can't relate to people dying around me and I have to take a decision of, am I shooting back?
Well, it's not happening. Well, here it is. Besides even that, it's not happening around you. And it doesn't mean that you're not a worldly person, but who's thinking of all the countries in the world all the time and what's happening inside them? So you got Ukraine.
But my point is, I don't have the information. I'm not well informed enough to say anything or to relate or to put myself in that situation. I keep quiet. I ask those who know. But the normal social media person is the first one to jump and post. Russia is wrong. But actually, do you actually know what's happening here? No, you don't know. So with me, I don't talk about things I don't have. You understand? I talk about myself, me, my personal experience, what I can learn from situations. And if I understand fully what I'm saying, or if I think I understand fully, that's when I'll say something. You know what I mean? I'm not going to comment for the sake of commenting, and if it's trending or whatever, you know. Like if I don't know, I don't know. Dog.
Now I want to jump into like the Billiato, and one could have been you had a dealership, you know, and one could be, oh, geez, that's a hell of an expensive car. But it's actually like being at that dealership actually allowed you to make a deal for yourself. Tell me a bit of the story around Billiato.
So it started with me being invited by Daytona I posted my Bentley, and then one of the guys who worked there DMs me and says, "Yo, that's a poor man's Rolls Royce," and I'm like, "And we dying," and that's. But okay, we'll speak about that some other time. Because like jokes are relative, right? It's like where you are in life. Like to another guy, it's like offending.
Yeah, but we here.
Yeah, so like for me, it's like that's my dude. Like, ah man. So I'm like, come. He says, "Yo, come pick up this Rolls Royce." So I take the Rolls Royce. They're like, "Yes, buy this. It's cheap," and it was a great price, And I almost bought the car, and I drove it for a little while. I didn't want to take it back. They're like, "Nah, just keep it." In that moment, there's a dude who was buying a Ghost, the brand new, the first Ghost that came to South Africa. It was like he made 11 million cash. What? And he's laughing. Yeah, we should work together. Own a liquor, what? Okay, sure. And then 2 weeks later, I'm in Cape Town with the owner of Daytona. He's like, "Yeah, I heard that you met one of my friends and you guys want to work together." I said, "Yeah." So let me call him. Called him, "Hey, I'm here." They start swearing on the phone. "Yeah, how you doing, you little bitch? I'm chilling with Cassper. You should work with this kid." "Yeah, let him come see me." I go to his office. When I get to his office, he's like, "Yeah, so what do you want to do?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I want to do like a gin or blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Okay, gin." Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, here's the branding." So he's like, "Damn." So he says, "Man, I'm so impressed." Of course, the first time I met this guy. And then we do our research. They give me now the gurus of alcohol. They're like, "Yo, this gin thing's not working because there's 4,000 gins every day that are coming out. We need to make something new. These are the trends. If you can make this work," they talk about tequila, the fact that J-Guy is doing so good. So the shooters are the ones that are really spiking up. So make something along the lines of shooters and what. So we build this brand, keep the branding Billiato and then later this guy says to me in a meeting, at his wife's birthday, he says, "Yo guys, meet Cassper too." He's like Jewish billionaire friends. Like, "Meet Cassper, this is my business partner. This is the most brilliant businessman I've ever met in my life." And I'm like, "Yo, so much pleasure, I'm chilling with people who have money." He's like, "Yo, this kid," and I met him. The first meeting I had with him, he had the branding, packaging, everything ready. I've never met such a prepared businessman, and I believe in this kid, and I believe he's gonna be something special. And that's how Billiato started. In literally 3 meetings, we were already flying bottles, spirits, tasting stuff. And me and Kapo were going there. Kapo was getting drunk all the time. Like, we're here to taste.
Yeah.
After your 7th drink, you think everything is good.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, man. Like, all these things that I do, sometimes they look like, it's just splurging money or whatever, but literally going to Daytona put me in a different space, and I was, hanging out with decision makers, who don't have to call their bosses boss. They literally decided, this is what we're doing. I never even spent a cent to create the brand. Took millions to start off the brand. I own majority of the brand. But, I literally had people who are around me just pump the money in. And, this is what, I don't even know, 4 or 5 months later since we dropped it, we in macro and pick and pay. That's unheard of. You can ask anybody who started a liquor brand. Getting into macro, pick and pay, and spa is not a joke. It'll take 2-3 years, But we were able to get in there so quickly.
That's crazy. And 4 to 5 months?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 months. How long has it been? When did we launch? Yeah, might be 4 months. Yeah, 4 months.
How's it doing?
It's crazy, man. We sold out. We printing another batch of bottles now.
You're used to making clothes, and now you are printing.
Yeah. We are, what do they call it? We are.
Who knows?
Yeah, we're making.
We're making
500,000 bottles right now.
All right.
Like, people, like, if you know the liquor market, bro, like, people don't move those numbers. Like, one of my partners in the business tells me when he started one of the brands that he owns, I don't want to say names because then you'll know the guys, and then it starts becoming a long conversation. They sold 3 bottles the first month when they started this brand. Today they sell 1.8 million bottles a year, right? Billiato sold like 300 first day, like online. And he was saying to me, Cass, like, I want you to understand that to you it's 300 bottles. To me, I sold 3 bottles in the first month. This is how far you can take this thing if you take it serious. The way you're taking it serious right now, if you really push this thing and you keep going, you could sell 1.8 million bottles in a year. And that would mean I charge like 90 million rand a year, just chilling, you know, just from Billiato, you know what I mean? And the brand is doing amazing. And I should tell you, but South Africa, like, it's the crazy, like, South Africans buy alcohol. Like, it's a big business, you know? It was easier for me to sell alcohol than t-shirts, you know, and people wear t-shirts every day.
Yeah.
But like, people drink every day, man. Like, and it's
because you can't drink a t-shirt. You'll wear it tomorrow again. Yeah, I can wear this tomorrow. I can't drink this again.
Exactly. You can wash it, and yeah. So it's doing well, man. It's well received. One of my guys work at a brewery distribution thing, and I hadn't seen him for months. And he came to me, he's like, "Dog, this thing is moving." He gave me the numbers that he spun. He says, "Dog, like, you really killing it. Like, please take this thing serious and keep pushing it. This is gonna be your legacy. You know, this is Khotso's money. This is, you know, that business that can really, you know, make me retire properly, chilling, you know."
Route of Fame, it seems like you got 2 retirement packages.
Route of Fame is easy business, man. Like, geez, bro. Like I'm very calm now because of these 2 businesses. Route of Fame for me is very exciting because I get to be creative and change and design stuff and make decisions, colors. You know, we're growing and we're going into more, going back to merchandise again, as you're selling clothes. So I'm selling outfits now. And through Route of Fame, I'm able to still remain an artist. You know, with alcohol, it's a business. You know, marketing, I have to be smart. But like with Route of Fame, it's still hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I can literally style people. And let me, a little story with Route of Fame, why I love it so much. One of my guys says to my stylist, "Yo, you need to," they were looking for some Amiri stuff, some designer stuff. And they say, "Yo, man, why don't you put Cass in Billiato?" And, you know, I mean, that's the level we're on now, you know? And I said, wow, like, a lot of people spend millions to look like Kanye, because Kanye wears Billiato, right? And I'm making millions from the same industry. A lot of people spend millions on fashion. I make millions from fashion. It's different. You sit next to me, you're in Gucci and Billiato, you look cooler than me, you think so. But you spent money to look like that. I'm wearing my own stuff and I'm making money to look like this. That's the difference now, you know? And that's what I enjoy about Route of Fame, that I'm able to wear whatever I want to wear, design it, wear it, and actually make money from that. Either, you know, different from like my peers who spend so much money to look cool.
What would you say to a you, which is they repeat you? I feel that you like me 20 years ago, and there's someone else who's like, because we keep repeating, you know what I mean, as creatives, you know, we all make money, we all want to get into some type of business. What would you say, how should you choose the business you get into now that you are here in your life?
I think first of all, you must understand yourself. You know, there's businessmen, there's entrepreneurs, there's creatives. Like, there's so many things you have to understand. Some people think they're businessmen, but they're not.
They just...
Yeah, I'm not a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know how to run a business. You know what I mean? I have professionals who run my businesses, but I don't know how to run a business. So once you figure out what you actually are, if you're a businessman, then you can run a business but you're not an entrepreneur. You must understand that you have to go partner with a great entrepreneur who can sell businesses or sell products. You know what I mean? So that's what I am. I identify businesses and I identify opportunities and I sell and I get people to run the businesses. So I think the first thing is to understand yourself and stop going with what everyone's saying. I'm a businessman, and it sounds cool, but are you a businessman? Do you have the qualities? What are your strengths? You have to understand and know yourself before you can choose the business that you're gonna go to or the industry that you're gonna choose, And the one important thing for me is passion. If you have the passion for something, you will be able to endure the difficulties and go through the hardships in order for you to get the results. But if you don't have the passion for something, it will always frustrate you. Like for instance, I'm not in property because that's not my passion, right? But I know that property makes money, right? So my whole plan is to get capital and then start a property business that someone's gonna run. It has nothing, it's like there's just money that's, you know what I mean? So like my mentor, Keith Watongo, is a property mogul. I've never stressed him about property. When I speak to him, we don't talk about property. That's not my thing because I'm not ready to do that. I'm not gonna frustrate myself because everyone's talking about property. So therefore, I wanna sound and look cool and start posting flats every week. I bought this flat, I bought that flat, and then next thing you're in trouble because that's not your passion. So identify who you are and know yourself. Identify your passion. You combine that. Whatever that you're weak at, you employ professionals to come and help you with that, and you'll be good.
How did you flip the boxing into and now that we're here, when you did your fight with Slik Talks, was that already like you going, this is how I want to land the bigger vision, or was it that I just want to get in a ring and fight with this guy? Was there bigger planning for that with that Slik Talk?
Always. The bigger plan was to help boxing, open a sports management company, and make money from training, from sports, because I train and whatever. And the original fight was Keenan, right? Which he's the first who went into public and talked about getting in the ring, blah, blah, blah. But it never happened because once we got to the paper, homies was trying to make more money than they deserved. And the money became more important than the fight, the actual deed. So it's like, he was looking at it like, if I'm gonna get my ass whipped, I want 8 million.
Is that what he wanted?
Yeah, I think he wanted 8 million because he knew he was gonna get his ass whipped.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about getting my ass whipped. I knew I was gonna whip his ass. So I was like, whatever this guy is taking, give me that. Let's get in the ring. And then Prince Kaybee called me out, or I called him out actually. And then he accepted. Then we're like, okay, when do you want to fight? Then he said his wrist is sore. Then it's okay, when is your wrist going to heal? Then he says he's going to London. Okay, when your wrist is healed and you're back from London, when can we fight? How much money? And then he started talking money that he didn't deserve as well. So then they always make it about money. So I was like, this fight is never going to happen because homies really don't want to fight. They're trying to make money, but they actually don't want to get into the ring. So I said, who's the craziest person to actually get in the ring with me? Because they all know I'm going to whip their ass. So who's the one guy who would actually get in the ring with me? I said, Slik Talk. I knew it. I knew that this the one guy, he doesn't have shit to lose, he doesn't give a fuck, and he's going to make a little money. He's like, fuck it. So we hit him, I called him out. And then he made a video, yeah, Cass, what? I'm gonna whip your ass. And then it was so hard to get a hold of him because he thought we were trying to set him up and get his address so he could pull up at his house. And we had to like make him aware that we're not those type of people, He gave us his number, we spoke to him, we set it up, we agreed contracts. And then the fight day comes and I'm like, damn, is this guy going to show up? Like, imagine we make this noise and he doesn't show up. And then he showed up. And then I knew that the business had started because I had to make it a thing. People had to see an actual fight, that the fight can happen. So that when the next fight takes long, people know that it takes time to make a fight, but it'll happen. So Slik Talk happened, boom. Naak was there, Naak, you know, jumped the gun. And
But wait. For me, already on the night of the fight, we got like the announcement of Naak joining.
Yeah.
So when did the conversation with Naak start?
When, with Keenan, that time we were talking with Keenan, we spoke to Keenan, then we spoke to Prince Kaybee. So when this is falling apart, we like, who has a name? And they said NaakMusiQ. And everybody in the room was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, let's go. So everyone's looking at his physique and I'm like, nah, let's go. I'll beat this guy.
Yeah.
And obviously he's looking at his physique and he's thinking, I'm gonna beat this guy and I'm gonna whip his ass, you know? Because it's a different ball game. Like I heard he's beat taxi drivers and bouncers and like, yo, he must be a tough guy. But boxing is different. It's like you have to have a skill set. It doesn't matter how hard you hit or how tough you are. So they were talking to him. He hadn't signed anything. And then I think the adrenaline at that moment, he was just like, yeah, let's go, 9 April. I say, okay.
Oh, so he hadn't signed, but he just caught the energy.
Yeah, he hadn't signed anything. And then he went off. And then he said, because it was friendly, and then he said, whoever who taught Cassper boxing must teach him more. I said, what? I said, okay. This guy really thinks he's nice. We're going to see. And I won't even lie. In the beginning, I was like, this guy's big, eh? Like, he's muscular. And, you know, power is power. If he lands, you know, he might hurt me. And then they posted that video of them training the first week. I said, bullshit. I'm eating. From there, my training was relaxed. We were having fun. We talking shit. Like I never had a moment where I thought, this guy might be a problem. We've been having fun ever since. You can see him, and even in the weigh-ins, and I can see this dude is very uncomfortable. You know, like I'm having fun. It's not tense. It's not like, yo, we're gonna fight. You know, people are like, why didn't you slap each other? I'm like, nah, like. It's not even like that.
It's not personal. It's yeah.
So yes, starting this whole thing, it was always the Slik Talk thing was always part of the plan to make it an actual business and make it a thing. And now, you know, shout out to NaakMusiQ for having the balls to step in the ring, because I mean, it's not everyone ran away. He kept his word.
Had you guys set up a 9th of April date already with Naak?
It was a possible date.
Oh, it was a possible, but he hadn't signed, obviously. It was just there. Okay. So when he got up there, he was like, okay. Which
I respect him for, because he got up there and said he's going to fight.
Yeah.
And then he went and signed the contract right after saying he's going to fight. And then, you know, everything went smooth because he's a man of his word. I always respect him. No matter what happens at Sun City, he's someone that I always respect because he kept his word. He stepped up and he kept his word.
And you said there's a bonus. So the company, the management, the sports management company, like, has got a bonus for him if he wins the fight.
If he knocks me out.
Is there a bonus for you if you knock him out?
No.
Okay.
There's no bonus, because we're going back and forth, and they were like, yo, they want a bonus if he knocks me out. So I said, okay, fine. We'll give him the bonus, but if he gets knocked out, he gets the bonus he was supposed to get gets deducted from his money.
Okay. So if he gets knocked out, if let's say he was getting R1, if he gets knocked out, he literally will get 50 cents as an example.
Yeah.
So you're kind of countering the
So I said, to make it fair,
the negotiation.
You get the money if you knock me out, but if you get knocked out, you lose the money. So there's risk.
Yeah.
You understand? Okay. It's not like if he gets knocked out, he walks out with his full pay anyway.
This is like a proper transaction, because now how do you've got SuperSport also jumping in. How do they jump in? You know, is it like were they jumping in from a perspective of, okay, it's boxing, how did they get in?
You remember there's 6 bouts before us, so it's a professional boxing event.
Okay.
The main attraction is me and Naak, but it was sanctioned by Boxing South Africa.
Okay, I see.
So
I see.
The entertainment and the boxing industry are coming together. Entertainment bringing the numbers, but there's actual fights before us. There's 2 title fights. There's an international fight, a guy from Philippines, that have nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
They just happen to be staged on that stage. So that's how SuperSport comes in, because they are broadcasting the real fights, and then we happened to be the main bout.
So I think what I'm taking from it, from even a business perspective, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like there's an element of SuperSport is an established business. Boxing SA is an established business. They've got all the paperwork. They know all the rights. You guys are almost like the promotional company, plus you the fighter also at the same time. And you guys are going, look, we're not trying to build a whole SuperSport model. We're not trying to build a Boxing SA model. We're just trying to do management. We'll bring the entertainment, and that's where our business comes in.
Yeah.
And that's your saying of, we'll let the professionals do what they do.
Yeah.
We'll just do what we love.
Exactly. We even have a professional boxing promotions company called TLB that put the matches together. The professional fights was done by them.
Okay.
A lady called Joyce Kungwan.
Yeah, we met her, yeah.
So we're not trying to touch anybody's bread. We're not trying to come into the industry and take everyone who does what they do. This is a platform for you to shine. We bringing you the numbers, and then we bringing a little bit more sponsorship, and we making it. It's Money Mayweather. It's like I'm opening the money team. So it's the very same thing for me.
Is it gonna be pay-per-view for?
Yes, we're working on a pay-per-view. It's not released yet, but obviously this is going to have international eyes. So for the pay-per-view is more for the guy in England who wants to see this fight. More than the South African guy. So, because we know, man, I mean, you can't make money from pay-per-view in SA, really. The most you'll get is 2,000 people, paying for the fight. And that's why SuperSport coming in was so important.
Well, I mean, when are you going to announce the pay-per-view?
Tomorrow. I think that the pay-per-view is going to be announced tomorrow. I'm not in that meeting.
Okay.
Also, I have partners. It's me, Root of Fame. Root of Fame is one of the main sponsors and companies behind this. Vertex, which is key.
Yeah.
Amazing people to work with. They made this seamless. And then Bridge Entertainment. This is 3 black guys coming together. Me and T. or me, myself, I could have said, this is my idea, and just worked with it. The fact that 3 black guys came together made this such a strong thing. I wouldn't even lie. I see the power of unity through this project. Ski and Vertex were amazing people to work with. They made it seamless. T. I was able to go and train as a boxer, knowing that, my interests are well taken care of, even if I'm not in some meetings. And these guys did the hard work, and now we're able to shine together. April 9th, it's time for me to do my job, because we're not going to get millions of people getting there watching the thing, and I don't give them a knockout. I need to deliver as well.
I believe, though, I believe even in South Africa, there's going to be a lot of people who can't get to Sun City who are going to want to watch the fight. One thing for sure. I mean, you'd be surprised. I always think that although you might not think that I think that it's what is for pay-per-view. And I think there's a lot of interest,
We're doing it though, we're doing a pay-per-view, and I think it will be streamed from SuperSport.
Okay.
As far as I understand. So they'll be able to manage the traffic should it get crazy, Because the last one, we just took some guy. That's why, the streaming was bad. That fight is just like comedy, man. But it was amazing. Everybody showed up.
It's the demo. It's the demo.
It's what they call school fees, You showed up. Sol Penduga was so dope. Robert Boy. The commentators were lit. The ring announcer was so animated.
Yeah, it was so dope.
Man, everything was just like comedy, and it sold it pretty well. I'll always shout out Slik Talk also, for helping us start. Such a brilliant thing.
I met him for the first time there also with his family, and it was
I felt bad, when I saw the mom, I was like, man.
No, but I think that I think Slik Talk also there's also he's from the digital world, And,
I feel
and personally,
he's so driven though. I love the fact that he's driven. I love the fact that like it's just that like sometimes EQ is a big thing. We're still in South Africa. Do you know what I mean? In South Africa, people are still like, you know, you can't just say things.
Yeah.
You know, you can get the views, you can get, but we're still in South Africa. It doesn't. I don't know. Like people are still, they still are respecting in South Africa that people love. But I love his hunger. I love his conviction. You know, and he's such an orator. He's an incredible. He'll literally just for 2 minutes there, and just. I'm like, yo, is this guy gonna breathe?
Yeah,
and that's like he's got an incredible orating skill. You know, just how he puts it out there. And I wish if we could put it on something else and it could just pop, he's gonna go so much far, in my view.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who can start anything and gain traction, man, you have to give him respect for that. You know, he literally started in his bedroom and we're out here talking about, you have the biggest artists in the fucking country talking about him.
I mean,
you know, you have to respect that. I don't respect how he does it. Some of the things are just wild.
Yeah,
like
some of the things are out of pocket. You know, I'm like
a lot of the things I'm like, bro,
yeah.
You know, like I don't even want to talk about anything specific, but like sometimes I'm like, man, you could have went without saying that, you know, because like I say, these are people. You have to always be compassionate and think about how people are going to take things and the fact that people are going through things.
But it's a generation. That's why I say some of these kids that are in this digital world, they only know like that space, and they don't have empathy, and they don't have like EQ. You know, because EQ is something you learn through people. You don't learn it in your own. You know what I mean? Or you could be around people, but you can choose not to have the EQ because you weigh the attention you'll get more than like considering the next person. That's why I'm just saying there are things that like he says that I'm like are really out of pocket. But like I've got a thing of me where I can always see like a spark though. Like if you had to put that energy in something else though, you definitely have a spark. You know what I mean?
You more mature than me, man.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today because
I'm always thinking I'm gonna punch this nigga's head off. Like that's how I started boxing. I just had so much anger and I wanted to punch Keenan's head off. Then I started loving the sport, and it changed into something else, like something that I actually love and respect with the art.
And you're making money off it.
And I'm making a lot of money from it. And then going back to the Will Smith thing. For me, it's like, it's so crazy that we live in a time where people want to say anything and not deal with what comes after you saying something. And I was saying to my manager, everyone must be okay with the repercussions of their decisions. You know, when Chris Rock said that, and Will Smith decided, no, I'm actually gonna slap this guy. Chris Rock must say, okay, I decided to say this, and then I got slapped, right? And then tomorrow, when the Academy takes the award from Will Smith, he must be okay also to say, but I decided to slap him. You know what I mean? It doesn't become, I'm a victim, you don't understand what my wife was going through. You see, if you can get to that position in your life where you're okay with what comes after your decision, you will make better decisions.
Good or bad, yeah.
Good or bad, you understand?
Yes, fair.
Like, it's fair. I can't feel sorry for Will Smith for what happens after he slapped the dude because he decided to slap him.
Yeah.
I also can't feel sorry for Chris Rock because he decided to say what he said.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like, it happens. That's how life is. There will always be a reaction for your reaction. So you must always decide what you want to do and you must stick to it. And that's how you'll be able to move on too when you make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's accountability.
Yeah, you have to have accountability, and we live in a world where people don't have any accountability because they think that they're always right, they're entitled, and when they realize that they've done something wrong, they can't even change their mind in public or come and apologize. They have to put on that act to say, I don't give a fuck, even when they do. And then it's just a vicious cycle, you know what I mean? So I now can control myself when I'm angry and I want to punch someone. because I think, okay, but what happens after I punch him? I feel like it's justified. I don't suge it, but after that, and then there's a police case. Now I'm busy going to court. You know, like for someone suing me 4,000, it's like, you know, now, like, is it really worth it? Actually,
Yeah.
I can let it go, man. You know what I mean? That's how I see things now. It's like, in that moment, I might have wanted to do something, but if I'm not okay with what comes after, then I'm not gonna do it. But if I'm okay with it, or I snap and it happens, I forgive myself and I go through what, you know, comes after that.
Man, Cass, it's been dope, man,
Yo,
catching up
thank
with
you,
you,
bro.
you know. I mean, it goes without saying, man. I also have to say, we have to say this, you know, just to keep the energy alive, you know. What is one Rick moment that you share with him that like you like,
Yeah.
or one thing that you gonna miss about him that that you guys always had? Because you guys
Yeah.
and I always say there's no real friendship without fights, without arguments, without misunderstandings, you know. And you guys had a real friendship, you know. What is the one thing that you're gonna miss about him as he's left us the way he's left us?
I don't think I can think of something, like one thing specific I will miss, because like, for me, Riky was not a normal human being. You go through life, you meet a lot of people, but then you meet special people and you know it, you know, and he was so special. Like I always say, Riky was everything I wanted to be, you know, everything. Like when I saw Kanye's like everything I want to be. I mean, except the other shit, but like as an artist,
Sorry, Kim.
as an artist, like, you know, like the way he would dress and like how confident dude is, and like Kanye, like Riky and Kanye, like for me is like the same thing, you know, like Riky was like perfect in my eyes, you know, like I didn't understand how someone could be so cool and so intelligent and so articulate and so fresh and so loving and so real, you know, so loyal. Like, so it's so hard to lose someone like that as a fan, as a friend, as a brother, as a colleague, you know, cause like without Riky, like then what? Like how you can't replace him. You can't draw what you used to get from him from anyone else, you know. And the manner we also lost him is like so hard to accept because of everything I mentioned. Because in our minds, everything works together. Everything has to make sense.
Yes,
in
of
our
course.
minds. It's easier to process things that make sense. Like 1, 2, 3, this is how it got here. With Riky, it's like, but you the guy, you're the problem solver. You know, it's like how it's you know, it's hard to process, you know. For me, it still feels like a dream. It's one of the, I haven't accepted. I don't think I will soon. I kind of just carried on with life, but every time, as I'm sure you can see, like when I have to actually think about it, like it's either I break down or I just become speechless. I don't know how to express exactly what I feel, you know. And one of the hardest things about also the whole situation is that we were not 100%. We were speaking, but every time we spoke, it was because he forced that we should speak. I was not okay with speaking to him. I was angry, you know, I still didn't understand what the hell happened. But he would talk to me like there was nothing wrong, you know, and I would stare at him thinking, are you crazy, bro? Like, can we start with what happened, you know? And he would just carry on like, yeah, bro, you know, man, I love you, I miss you, bro. Like, how's the kid? And I'm like, dog, what's happening here, you know? And he's like, yeah, I just, you know, he shouted a little apology quickly and then, you know, moved on. And then he sent me a message, I didn't reply. And then we met in Polokwane. He had just performed. And then I performed and I was away, he was around and I'm like trying to like duck so I don't see him. He sees me as he's driving out and he parks and he comes out. Hey boys, hey, what are you? He's talking, yo, he says, dope performance, man, you killed it. And I'm like, yo, this was a very small show. Like it was one of those, you know. I think I had COVID. You know, I felt like I had COVID. I hadn't tested, but I was like, hey, it's a kungra, you know, I'm not feeling well, you know. So I'm not feeling well. And this guy says, he goes on about how amazing the performance was. I killed it. And I'm like, dog, is this guy trying to compensate? But he was so genuine, like, yo, he happy, you know. And then he opened, you know, the floor to speak and then we were talking. And then, you know, after a while, I can't now stay angry the whole conversation. You know, now I start engaging and I speak to him. And he's like, yeah, you know. So I'm like, I think I have COVID. He's like, no, it can't be COVID. I said, I had COVID like a month ago. He says, no, that means you're cool. Like, can't have COVID twice in a month. And he says, yeah, he also had COVID, so he thinks that he's going to be fine for the next 6 months. That's why he's rocking. He's not wearing masks. So we're joking about that. And then he says, yo, boys, I'm going to be out. But don't worry, you're going to be fine. Hold it down. That's the last time I spoke to Riky.
How long ago was that before you?
It's like maybe a month before, you know. And he was constantly talking to TD though, because he wanted to bring me out at Cotton Fest as a surprise act. Right? Say, oh, we have to do this moment, you know, my brother, I miss you guys. So he always used to say, man, all of this shit doesn't mean anything without you guys there, you know. He always used to call Tilly to say these things. And then we finally got to, okay, how are we gonna do it? So Riky was saying it can't just happen, it has to happen like this. So they were planning the specifics of how they wanted to bring me out for this moment, you know, at Cotton Fest. And one morning, I get a call. I'm waking up, I can see 19 missed calls. So I'm like, what's happening, you know? And then they told me what happened, and man, it's just been, honestly, it's been like floating from there. So I don't know. I don't even know, bro. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think of it. It's just, I'm praying, talking to, you know, some family members, you know, like his brother Shakes. He's one person who's really, really showed up for everybody more than we can even show up for him. You know, he's the brother, like he's the one he's feeling more pain than us, but he's the one who's comforting us. You know, he's the one who's saying, it's cool. You know, this is how we move forward. This is how you show your brother, you know. And he's been the one guy, I won't lie, that really has been helping me come to terms with what happened and also be able to take steps forward, even without completely, you know, accepting what happened. And
yeah, that's crazy. That's also how I also kind of described Riky. I said, this life, when you look at people, he looks like the almost perfect person. Everything around you, just everything, and that's why I think people also resonated to him, even the kids, because he was like perfect, from physically how he looked.
Yeah, sample size. You know
how
call sample size.
yeah, how he looked. The opportunities he made for himself, and from a business perspective, and the things that he built, from even like the Cotton Fest. Everything was just so perfect. Well, I saw him maybe 2 weeks before he passed. We were doing the interview we did first, and but he just felt like he wanted to say something to me, like he wanted to keep going and keep talking, and I was like, no, we gotta go now. I gotta rush to Windley. We gotta go to Windley. Yeah, it was for me. I never knew how, because me and him talked a lot also. He just called me for random things, or just for, this is what I think, what do you think, kind of conversations, bounce things off, and where he would but I never knew we were that close until he left, because the way I broke down, I couldn't believe it.
I never knew. Well, I wasn't aware of our bond, what we meant to each other and what we meant to the world, until his death. He was just a friend that I admired. But when it happened and I had, fans send me stuff, and I really looked into it, and I was like, fuck. I wasted a lot of time not appreciating what we did and what we meant to each other. It's like it took the world to explain to me and understand. That's what felt so horrible, because it was late, but his brother said to me, you and this guy built this whole fucking thing together. And I was like, actually, yeah, it was like the perfect balance of the hood guy.
That's it.
Who's gonna bring make it relatable to the people, and he was the one who would take it to the suburban girls and make it, so it works. He's the one who'd be like, I'd try and cheat it, and he's the one who'd be like, no, we have to do it the right
Always
way
wants to-
in case he gets checked.
Yeah.
Let's make sure. So there's that, and then in the real world, I'm the one who always wants to be in the street, and he's the one who's family. So we would always build each other. I would always force him to do things that he doesn't really want to do, or at least think of them, and
vice versa.
And we built this thing, man, together. Everything we did in the game was because of each other or with each other, and I wasn't even aware. I thought he was just like everyone else who was around me, but that was actually my twin. I didn't even realize until he was gone, until I looked, but he did. When I look at his captions, I'm like, he knew exactly what it was. For me, it was just my friend, and I admire this guy. I want to be close to him because I admire him so much. But he knew exactly what was going on. There's a picture he posted, said the best of both worlds. And when he posted, we were in LA, and I was thinking, why would he say the best of both worlds? Aren't we the same thing? I don't see myself as different from you. But now, and I'm like, oh shit, I understand now what he meant by, the things he used to do. Say, Riky used to show up at my house in the evening. There's a video of him dancing in my studio. Riky doesn't dance, and he doesn't visit anybody. He's special if he does. Riky just shows up at my house in the evening. play. He says, yo, play. What are you working on? I play. I play. And he just starts dancing. That's why I took my camera out, because I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. It's like, this one is too much. And when you listen to that, that's piano. Like, that's piano. Like, I didn't even know what that song was. It was just sounding weird from Mapurisa. He started dancing, you know. He got it, man. I didn't get it, you know, while he was still here, but I appreciate the moments that I shared with him. And I think, you know, we just have to learn what we can and try and keep his legacy alive, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out.
Easy.
I never told you, in closing, he was, when we did our last interview and you guys were going through the stuff, he called me up. He was angry at me. Sticks. You know, but you know, and so we had to meet and we had a chat. And, you know, he was just angry at me. I don't know what he wanted me to do because I never said anything.
Yeah.
But he was just angry at me. But I could also see him that he was like saying, he's not gonna, he doesn't want this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't want this. His heart was like, yeah, you know, it is a situation, but it's not what he wants, you know. And, you know, I kind of get it where he is also, because now that I know, and obviously me speaking with V, it's like he kind of also, the reason why he called me, he kind of also viewed me like a big brother. So he always expects that I should have protected him, you know, and not even talk about it. Not talking about it was like protection.
Yeah.
So he was angry that I never protected him, and we talked, and I talked about, so what were the issues with Rick, and then you got it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he was just like, he was just so, I never saw him like that before, but he was just disappointed that I never protected him.
You know what's crazy about Riky? Riky seemed perfect to our eyes, but Riky really, really had people that he loved and admired, and he expected so much from.
That's fair. And we probably also never saw that also.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he wasn't good at
expressing.
but he also wasn't good at expressing that. Similar to you saying he apologized, but it was like, so he wasn't good at expressing. It was his actions that showed it.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was his actions that showed it. But you just thinking that, me, I'm just picking up my phone. Rick, I always say, Rick quarterly calls, he's gonna call. But like, you know, he never expressed that this is why I speak to you, Slik, until he goes, this is why, you know, he kind of speaks. I'm like, oh, I just thought I was another guy in the industry. He just spoke to, but he had a place for me in his life, similarly to how he has a place for you. So when he's seeing you, he doesn't. I don't think he knew how to say this is actually how I feel, but he acted it, and we just thought that it was another interaction, you know.
Yeah.
Yo, anyway.
The lives and times of Riky Rick.
We love him, man. You know,
yeah, man.
This weekend though, it's gonna be a big night for boxing. You know, Cass and Naak, make sure that you get your tickets if you don't have your tickets already. You know.
Now I have to go back to Mike Tyson now.
Now you have to go
after
back.
breaking down. But it's gonna be lit, man. I can't wait to put on a show. Both my trainers are fighting on the night. Sequence Ngotele and T Dumizweni is fighting. He's fighting right before me. It's the main bout. It's a title fight. So look out for them. You know, like I said, I want to put on boxers as well. And then it's me and Naak, man. I'm excited. I'm getting a bit nervous because I've talked all this shit. Now I'm like, man,
don't replay your trash talk.
I have to go. You know, show up. You know, I've got a tattoo of Iron Mike now on my thighs. So, and I did it before the fights. Everybody's like, imagine you do this tattoo, you get knocked out, right?
We literally need to have a drone that runs you on the floor like this. There must be a drone that starts from here and goes.
But so Naak must understand, like, I'm not fighting you, dog. I'm fighting myself. I've said so many things. I can't allow myself to go through that. So Sun City, 9 April. If you haven't got your tickets, do get them right now. There's day passes out. So if you don't have packages, there's a few tickets that are going to be released just for the fight. If you're in Rustenburg, if you close to Rustenburg, trust me, you'd really, really want to come see this, you know, electrifying night. Like 6 parties, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just parties all around. Crazy, man. It's gonna be lit. You know, another way of entertaining people. We did fill up. You know, people got used to that. Now we doing like sporting events, you know, through boxing.
And shout out to NaakMusiQ also.
Yeah,
Straight up.
big shout out to Naak.
Sure. Peace, my bro.
Broadcast live